Hello, everybody. We are back with more of our Pick 3 playthrough, day 25. Day 25. Okay, I forgot to copy the code into the bot. I gotta type it out because it's not. And then I copy pasted something else, and then that always screws me up. Okay, it's in the bot now. Overnight, we went about 1,700 areas. Ishii is rocking and rolling with winner takes all stacks. She didn't pull all of them for some reason. 1,700 areas. You'd think she'd have pulled them all, but we're up to 210 stacks. Dragon Emergence, 3,900 gems. Well, 2,468 from drops out of 5,105. So it's not picking them up overnight. I think we knew this. I think it picks it up. I think it picks them up in the background. I don't think it picks it up offline, which is frustrating. But let's get out of here. Well, let's look at what we got. So Vajra also not triggering ultimate attacks for some reason. So I'm not going to worry about that. Mert's done. Except for ultimates. But again, we're having issues with that. We got a lot of Strahd done yesterday just from doing one variant. But we will probably throw tonight's farm into Mad Wizard to try to pull constructs and bosses. Because why not? Strahd's got 9,200 currency. Wait, why does that say 75 influence? Oh, I guess that's what I have left. Maybe? Yeah. I have EO5. Yes, okay. It keeps the doesn't do the high water mark. Okay. But he needs more currency to catch up with Vajra and Mert. Get out of here. What we're doing today is trials run. First trials run ever. See, the game's even like your trials adventure is awaiting for you. It gets really annoying if you don't do it. It just won't shut up. You want to do trials? Hey, your trials run is there. Do you want to do some trials? Hello, Delkun, Leilukan, Star Chaser, J-Dog, Lazier, Sergeant, Bayushikira, hello. It's fresher playing tonight. I mean, I will watch and see. Sometimes, not all D&D is for me. And I know this. I can watch an episode and be like, nah, this isn't my thing. And just not all TTRPGs are for me. I tried to watch Candela Obscura for a while. And the players at the table kept me in it longer than the system did. And eventually I just walked out. I was like, I don't really enjoy this. I like watching these people roleplay, but I don't like watching this game. It's just, it wasn't for me. At least for watching it. I don't know. Playing it might be fun, but it wasn't my thing. Hey, Jules. Hey, Shevik. Hey, Niskus. Okay, root beer. Did I watch all the Wildmat Wildlings? I did. I thought that was great. Yeah. I had to watch the VODs because they started like an hour early. Which is super considerate of them, but like that's not when I'm back at my computer to watch stuff. I'm so used to being back at my computer at 9, and then they were starting at 8. Well, my time. So I'm gonna broadcast 2 clients. Oh, picture in pictures up. You could have just said picture in pictures on. All right. So trials run. So we're gonna try to. Our goal is to get to. We're gonna try to do this solo over 7 days. So we get 2 achievements. This is the only kind of achievement hunting I do when I do these new accounts, and it's not because I want the achievement. It's literally just because I want to demonstrate to people how to get the achievements. I think everybody here knows how to do it, but In case people are watching this VOD back, I want people to know. So we're gonna hop in. It tells you all we got to do is get to area 100. We're gonna go further. Well, we'll see. I mean, we just need to get 187 bud. Is what we're doing. So 100 areas and 187 bud, E187. Or 187 overall damage, I should say. We can get there with a little slightly lower bud. All right. Let me turn this. This is the wrong. I just realized. I knew it the second I hopped into it. But this is the wrong. This is the wrong party. I knew it. Knew it. Okay. Oh, look, I've got 9 DPS. So see, I hit one thing, and that's what it does. We did 3.09 EO9 damage in that run, and so you get the DPS contribution is the E value. Okay. You know what? Oh. Okay, yeah. This is the party that has the fast core. I was like, what is everything so fast? Because this is the party with the fast core. There is no we're gonna go. Well, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna do 15 minutes of small potions. And we're gonna move forward. We have no favor here. So it just like a trials run or an event, or just like a time gate or an event. You start at 0 favor. So your first run might just be a favor, like trying to get favor, so that your second run can be your damage run. If you're doing it with a group, like that's totally a thing that can happen. I'm not gonna be doing that. Hopefully. I need enough gold to level up Halson so we get more wave clear. And are we gonna die? We're gonna die. I don't want to bring him in, but I guess I gotta bring him in. All right. What do you get for the achievements? It's like 1% or something. Oh, I think. I don't know. I'll look at it here in a second. Once we get well, you know what, this can happen over here. Trials of Mount Tiamat, it's right here. So what we're looking at, oh no, these are 5%. Some of these are 5%ers. Let's see. Oh, the 5%ers are the difficulty ratings, so we know we can ignore those. The 1%, yeah, it's going to be a 1%. So we'll get a 1% for whatever area we did the first time you do the area. We're going to get one for reaching a daily area goal. Here, what else have you got? Reach the daily area goal in each trial 7 times in one campaign. So this is the 7-day thing. And then She Isn't So Tough. Contribute the most DPS of your group to the assault team at the end of the week in a Trials of Mount Tiamat campaign. These two are real hard to do if you're not doing... Well, it's well, I shouldn't say it's real hard to do. It's just, by the time you get a group, usually you're completing everything in less than 7 days. And then it's going to be, you know, who's in your group is going to determine whether or not you can get top DPS. So by doing it solo and being careful about your value, you can get both of these just when you start, and then the rest will all come naturally. Yeah. So that's kind of the idea here. Is the one time, you know, it's kind of want to get it done on the way instead of later on, like while you're leveling up instead of later on. Well, but here's the thing. I mean, even if it's 30 to 40%, doesn't really mean much. Kind of like feats. Yeah, they don't really mean much. I mean, you take them because you add it all together and you get where you need to go, but I don't chase that stuff early on. If I chase it at all, it's, you know, it's later. But really what we're watching here is we're just kind of watching our, I mean, obviously we're in the low values right now, but we don't want to let this number get too high. When we get into like the 150s, what we'll want to do is we'll want to go out here and keep an eye on this total, like additional total, because you notice it says E19 and see it's ticking up. Every time we attack, the value is going up. Even though we're doing E17, E18, that's adding up out there. And so we have to keep that in mind. So when we start getting closer, we want to keep an eye on it. I guess 180. Once we hit about 180, bud, we'll want to keep an eye on it. Because the second we hit 187, we want to stop. Your current group might take all 7. Hey, then that works out. You know, normally you don't want to take, you want to kill it as quickly as possible, but that's why I figure like your first time getting used to it, I feel like it's a good introduction to understanding how Trials works by doing it solo. Because when you look at Tiamat's health bar, it's freaking huge. And when you're like, oh, we're contributing 26 DPS, that isn't doing much. Like, we got to get 400 million done, and it doesn't seem to be ticking up. And the first couple days, it looks like there's no way we can solo this, right? First 3-4 days, but then you hit day 5, and suddenly it's like, wait, no, can we? And then day 6, and you're like, oh my god, this might happen. And then day 7, and you're all the way down here, and you're like, how did that work? And it's just that it's because your DPS goes up with the daily quests, right? And a lot of people really need that. I don't want to say beaten into their brains, but there's a hammer. It hammers it home, as it were. And we're still getting into some beating references. Sorry. Yeah. And you just, you know, that's the way it ends up working. Then you don't forget after that point on. You kind of go, okay, even if it looks bad early on, like the real values are in the later days. So having Grim in here, even though I want to Ishi DPS this, having Grim in here is helpful for the chunkage. He's removing chunks off these armored things, because he's still, right now he's got enough damage to do stuff. I don't hate it. Gonna solo on purpose this time around, but there was a T1 group with 54% Makos. The scale it is. Why did somebody take a 54% Makos into tier 1? Did you mean tier 10? I'm confused. Honestly, the only reason that this group will take 7 will be that no one added assault party damage. That's a big deal. When you're in groups, assault party damage is huge. We tested once without it. Oh, you're on an alt. Okay. We tested once without it. Well, I shouldn't say we tested once without it. The game totally didn't. The game totally put my Tyrrell in when I clicked Jarlaxle. Where I swear I clicked Jarlaxle. But I ended up contributing Tyrrell, and we didn't have an assault party bonus, and it took a lot longer, which was kind of a wake-up call. There's a lot of people who are like, we can't wait until they get rid of like the assault party, and it's like, But when they do, like those bonuses might, I haven't said they're going to replace those bonuses. So, you know, it's going to take a lot more work to get a trials run done. And I don't think everybody's like really internalized that just yet. That was the trade-off for getting rid of them, is they're giving you a bonus in trials. Okay, so we passed 100, but we want to keep going, right? Obviously. Again, we're still chasing 1/8. So normally you'd be trying to get as high and much as damage as possible. We'll demonstrate that next week. We want favor, which is ticking up right now, and we just got to get 187. Well, 180 over here, and then we'll start watching. If I look over here now, we're staying closer. We're within about 3 orders of magnitude of what's showing here. But we got to be very careful as we're leveling up that we don't get too much damage, because that'll throw off our values. Contributed 23% Makos. I'm contributing a 6.1% Makos. Woohoo! Now over here it's going to tell us, like, so the base scales of Tiamat is 1333 is the reward. But there's a victory bonus and a first time victory bonus combined there, 350%, and then the champion bonus. So the total I would get from this is over 6,000. And those bonuses are for everyone. It isn't like 6,000 divided by however many people are there. So you're not hoarding. You're not hoarding your dragon scales. You're not the dragon. You're the adventurer. Everybody gets a bonus. What are we doing with the damage controlling? The 7-day solo for the achievement, yeah. It's just the easiest way if you care about achievements. It's the only one I actually, you know, some I feel like you have to worry about. Most of the time I'm like, don't worry about achievements. You will get them eventually, but there's a few like Brivs that you have to manually get. And I feel like this is one of those that you manually get. Most of the time I don't. I tell people not to bother chasing achievements. I've said it on this account like recently. But this is less chase. I mean, we are getting to achievements, but this is also, I think, just very educational about understanding how trials works, so that you know what to worry about in the future. And what you don't worry about is other people's contributions, even if it's 0. Just live your own life. It'll be okay. Breathe. All right. It's also going to give you a good idea of like how far can you go, because every day the area goal, it's not going to be our complete area 100 tomorrow. The area goal is going to go up every day, and so you kind of need to know, like, can you push as far as you're going to need to push? That's how you determine if you want to move up to the next. Like, should I be moving up tiers? And the answer early on is absolutely. But as you get higher, it might be like, ooh, like if you're worried about, am I contributing or am I leeching? You know, you can tell by how many days you're able to complete. If you can only complete 1 or 2 days, you're leeching. I mean, that's just a reality. If you can't complete day 3, you don't have the power to be at the tier you're at. Yeah. But if you're investing the scales that you're earning, and leveling up your legendaries. You should never be a leech. You should always be a solid contributor. You don't have to be top DPS. You just have to get your daily goals done. That's it. It is our make us value at the end. Yeah, it'll go up slightly, but I've been the DPS lead on most of my trials runs so far. So yeah, you're fine. But it's like you don't have to even be the DPS lead. You just have to make sure that as long as you're hitting every daily goal, you could end up with the lowest DPS. If you completed every daily goal, you weren't leeching. You weren't leeching. Everybody else was just overpowered for the tier you're on. All right, 115s. Tier 7 is like the I don't know, it feels like it was the most efficient for earning vials for a long time. It's kind of the sweet spot. After that, you know, after that, if you have really bad luck, you could end up with not enough vials to do the next tier, or to even do the tier that you just did. This is one of the reasons vials have to go away when they rework it. They did not balance that well. It really just shouldn't have been. There shouldn't have been a vial cost in the first place, like, because it feels bad when, hey, I just completed this tier, but now I don't have the currency to spend to do that same tier again, let alone move forward. That's a bad feeling. And that only happens if you have to collect a currency. So, but that was one of the ways that it feels like they came up with vials to as a monetization thing, because then they sold prismatic vials and you could just spend a prismatic vial to do the higher one. I think that was the idea early on. But people kind of rejected that pretty wholeheartedly. And it never really felt like you had to buy them, so. On my main account, I have a ton just from giveaways, and I think I might have used one just to try it, but I never, it was never necessary. "23% make us and 5% crawl somehow equals 42%. Do you have any scrolls? Well, no, that wouldn't do it, because the scrolls don't cover. The scrolls don't increase that. Damage gold and salt party. Yeah, you might have there's like there's a blessing from Avernus. Yeah, and they're all their own multipliers, so it's not additive. It's multiplicative. So that's why it's nice that you can actually, if you get the blessings and you have like even like 3 people with smaller values, you can end up with a good value of bonus. Because you can because with the blessings you can max over 100%, Jules. Because originally it was like it would just get you to 100% faster, and everyone's like, but then it's a wasted blessing. That feels bad, so it overmaxes. Like that would have felt horrible if it's like, well, I'm at 100%, and that blessing means nothing. That would have been bad. So there's ways you can get over. I don't, you know, without being on my main account, I can't look everything up. Oh yeah, 127. So we're at 127. Our damage contribution is probably 130. Hey, look at that. I'm getting good at this. Hey, Sargoto. All right, he is not doing anything anymore. He's coming out. We're getting dragon baited. Baited and outsmarted. All right. It's a lot, Death Javi, yeah. It's E44. 2.49 E44. You need EO2 over whatever it costs to do it without the warning going off. All right, so we're starting to struggle a little bit because I've just got a speed group in here. This isn't a pushing party. So we're gonna have to factor that in. Still ways over the area enemy health. Should push forward, but we need a lot more gold, so let's throw down some gold find. What are we at? 45,000 gems. So we'll get our 50k gem feat today. I hope. Yeah, we should have enough time to get a 50k gem feat. Hey, 5J, you don't have to... you don't have to apologize for missing something. It's the goal to get the 7-day achievement. That and the top damage contribution, while also kind of getting a feel for how Trials works. That's... Yeah. So we're doing the 7-day achievement. We're pushing far to get our damage up to 187. You know, the value after the E needs to be probably 184 should give us 187 on the outside. So we got a little ways to go still. because we want it to show. See, 148 out here, but it's 141 in here. But we hit 147 at some point. We also want to get favor, so that when we're trying to do our day, we're up to E15 already. When we're trying to do our daily goals, because all you do after this is just hit the daily goal and hit complete. So when we're trying to do our daily goals, we just want to be able to race through it and move on with our life. You don't want to be grinding trials, like that's not a thing. So yeah, this is our first run, and it's gonna be our only run on day one, solo. You know, next week we'll take a look at, you know, we're gonna try to get a group, do as a group, and then we'll want to contribute, you know, as much damage as we can. So we'll, you know, we'll try to do, we might do 2 runs next week. We might do a favor run as the first run, and then a deep push as our second one. Come on, Black Dragon, die. Die, Black Dragon, die. Okay, so we're up to, we can get up to E151 on the bosses, so, you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. They'll end up with 2 runs on the first day, 2 to 3 runs on the first day for favor. Some people do try to farm favor here. I don't. I feel like it's the same kind of people who try to farm favor in time gates, because it's the same conversion rate. It's the 2.5% per order of magnitude of favor here. Trials are treated like time gates, is what I'm trying to say. So when a trials day ends, you're kicked out of the run. When the trials ends, you're done. Like, there's no going over at any part. The conversion rate is 2.5% for favor, whereas during an event, it's 10% per order of magnitude. Favors are just, or events are just the nicer places to do it. Like, if you've got limited resources and you know, events are where it pays off more. But yeah, you never have to go past the daily goal after day 1. Some people just do 1 run on day 1 and then they do their D push on day 2, but that scares me, because, like, what if you lose someone important, like, or, you know, what if the restriction is not great? But, you know, day 1 is the least restricted day. So yeah, if you're trying to do the same thing in a solo run 5-day 20, then yeah, you want to try to get, once you're around 180 here, you want to come out here and look, make sure that you want to stop at 187. You want to instantly come back here and clear your formation, or go back or something, so that you stop doing damage, because you don't want to go over 187. You can, but I try to just hit 187. If you go 1 or 2 over, it's okay. But 187 is always the goal. Okay. Did we lose? Yeah, we lost the fire breath. I need it for Fortunes and Wizards 3 conversion. That's fine. I was never in a rush with those. Events are once a month, trials is once a week. Sure. But that doesn't mean I want to grind trials. I put it this way, on my main account, I don't think I have any issues with favor on my main account. Sure, there are people who have, like, you know, like 200, 300 orders of magnitude of favor. I don't really want to be those people. I've always felt like I have enough favor to do what I want to do, so yeah. And I've never had to grind. I've never tried to grind, so yeah, because your actual damage contribution is what's shown out here. But this is a function of the total damage you're doing. It's total damage, and I say it's your bud, but it's, if you're hitting for 161 bud 10 times, right, then you're like 1.0 161 once is that, but then twice is 2.0, right? So this number is going to tick up based off how you're doing damage in here. So it can be higher than what your bud is, but you're trying to get to your highest sustainable bud values and then see normally. But here we want to get to a certain target. We're getting close. We're evening out with health though, unfortunately. Unfortunately. So things are going to slow down a bit. And we might have to swap in some pushing champions to get there quicker. For instance, maybe Miria for Deacon? Ooh, yeah, that helped. That's wildly looking. Yeah, I don't ever want to have to do that. I don't ever want to have to do that. That just feels unenjoyable. Have I considered posting in something like the Hell Hades Discord to find him? No, I don't belong to any of the Discords for Raid. So I just do the in-game recruitment. This time around I'm gonna turn on like applications again. I think that's the hope. I'm hoping that's gonna get rid of these people who just join and then never do anything. Like they're just sandbagging. They're just using alt accounts to sandbag, I swear. That's what it feels like. All right, we're in the 170s. See, 172 was showing, but we're at 177. So when we hit around 180, we're going to want to be paying closer attention. There's 178. There's 180. What do we got? 181. All right. Getting close. Getting close. That was with some ultimates. $182. All right, there's 180 consistently. 181. $182. 185. There's 186. 188. All right, we're done. We're done. We got close. I went one over. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, 189. I ended up 189 at the last second. That's why you got to stop just a little bit earlier. You got to try to get out pretty quickly. 189 should be still within the window. We should still be within the window. So you'll notice this says 189. This says 289. Because this part here includes my damage bonus from up here, right, for the day. So every day, like trying to push further and get, you know, more, like if this were my cap, trying to get a few more every day wouldn't matter. And we have an ad break, but because the bonuses from the other days are way better. That was it. That was our day one. All right. What are we doing now? How many time gate pieces do we have? 4. We want a Vernus. We want to go to hell. All right, hold on. I gotta get my reference up here. Okay. Okay. We got 30 seconds left, so give me. We'll continue this in 30 seconds. We will continue this in 30 seconds. We're back. Okay. So we're gonna go to a hell, and we're gonna target some specific variants, and these are what I call efficient patron variants. We need to do the base versions of them first. There's 6 of them. First one is Ragged Dragus Crew. These are on the list in the order that they're in is important. They're not in the order that you encounter them as you go through. They're in a specific order based off how I think you should do them. For the patrons specifically, but we're going to do them in this order just to get used to this order. So we're going to start with Ragged Dragus Crew. 450, so it's a good area goal, and with patrons it's going to be much higher. And all that happens is lycanthropes show up. That's it. So it makes it, we can use whatever group we want. It's totally okay. And that's why we like them. That's why we like this. That's why we do these first. So they're efficient because there's no real restriction, and there's that's like the first priority. That's the big priority. There's no real restriction here. And so you can knock them out very easily. Later on, when you figure out kind of how to judge your power with patrons and what you can complete, you know, you can do much harder ones. But starting out, I find these to be kind of the most efficient way to get the most bang for your buck. So I don't try, kind of like with that the one we did in Tomb of Annihilation. That's the first one that you really encounter. And there isn't really one in Waterdeep that I like. So I don't usually bother with Waterdeep, but once you get here, there's 6 of them, and that's the big deal. Okay, so we got to go 450, and I think we were saying this is like a couple of these, and that was all we were taking. I think that's how it worked out. So we're going to do these 6 variants if we have time today. But you're going to see these variants a lot because then we're going to do them all for Mert. And then we're going to do all 6 for Vajra. And then we're going to do all 6 for Strahd. We're not... This is our progress right now. This is what I call a mini patron grind. We're going to do all 6 of these for all of our available patrons. Because when we're done doing these for the patrons, we will have mega currency and mega influence and the power that comes with that. We'll have our Modron chests for as long as we want them, as long as we're not spending a ton of that currency, and we're not going to spend it. It's going to be banked. We might pick up some familiars. I have a lot of familiars. If I pick up familiars, it'll be to use to automate more background party stuff. But it's a good time to pick up familiars. Yeah. Why a solo run? Why stop at 187 DPS? It's so that you can get 2 achievements that are frustrating otherwise. So if you're planning long term, it's the one time I'm like, well, there are some achievements that you have to kind of work at, like Briv's achievement, and these are 2 of those. They're really hit or miss otherwise. Plus, it also gives you a really good understanding of how Trials works. Because a lot of people think, oh god, you just need to keep contributing and grinding and blah blah blah. But this is a good demonstration that I actually, our max DPS so far has been E262. That's the highest bud we've ever set. And I stopped at 187. Well, it hit 189, but I was trying to stop at 187. You want to keep it below 190. I will say that much. So, yeah. So, this will let us go all 7 days, and it helps to teach people who are new to this system that there's a snowball that gets rolling there when you're doing every daily quest. So, you don't panic when it looks like you're barely scratching Tiamat. When you get to like day 5 and 6, that's when you start seeing how big daily goals are to the overall contribution. Hey, Zealous. There are variants that exactly match specific patron restrictions. There's one here in Avernus. It matches Zariel's patron restriction. It's Rhea Reborn. So once you unlock Zariel, you can also then do Rhea Reborn for Zariel, but I wouldn't recommend doing it for the other patrons. Because then you're doubly restricted. It's horrible. Fortunately, this 24-hour potion that we popped 48 hours ago still has 12 hours left on it. So, yeah, good. I think good. Those legendary potions, the speed potions, are a great value, apparently. Okay, where are we at? 46,000 gems. Yeah, we're coming up. 50,000. The first 50,000 gem feat is going to be Diana's, so that we can basically just check her off the capped speed list. That's what we want. This one. This will cap her speed effect, and we don't have to invest any more item levels into her, which is fine because she's only on our speed team. Volo is on our pushing team, so we don't need any more power on her. We just want speed on her. Do we have any chest open? We got some silvers. Large potion of speed. Take it. Ow, take it. I don't know what that means, J-Dog. Oh, no, I have nothing for them. I made Volo full legendary with full support pigments. Wow. Yeah. Why is he so powerful? I don't know. And then you look at like the Stokey rework, and you look at like Beetle and Grimm's power, and you're like, why is Volo so strong? It doesn't make any sense. We kind of did everything. Yeah, we got nothing else to look at over here. Oh, yeah, 66.47. I don't have enough to buy anything. But look, we're from drops. We're up. Because we were killing some dragons in that run. Let's go set up the background party. And we're going to park it in Strahd. Mad Wizard. Oh no. Oh no. Strahd's problematic. Strahd's gonna need it. We're gonna have to do Starlaxle for Strahd. Which is weird. Okay. We'll see if that works. We're gonna test it out. This is not usually we want a seat 1, but we don't have a seat 1 that qualifies that we're not going to be using. We're gonna be using Gale. We don't want to put him in a background party. Okay. All right. What are my PC's temps like nowadays? I don't know. Whatever my room temperature is. Honestly, that's what it feels like. I mean, I know if my PC is having temperature issues if my room is getting too hot. It's like 72 in my room right now. So it's... No, they're fine. It's different when we're playing, depending on the game we're playing. Or how many games I have open also can be a problem. Right now, actually, I could do this if we want. There. My raid account is currently trying to climb Doom Tower. It's an easy thing to let it AFK while I'm streaming. Understood that whoever you choose for bonus and trials will be locked during a trials run. But for some reason I thought that champion would appear automatically in a trials part. No. They're just gone. Yeah. They're in the assault party. They're not available for anything. Yeah. Yeah. That's another thing that day 1 teaches you, right? If your first trials run when you're doing it solo, you're okay. Ooh. Yeah. They're not held hostage. We call it jury duty, or I call it jury duty. They're on jury duty because it's a trials of Mount Tiamat. It's jury duty. So they're contributing. They're contributing passively instead of actively. Wow, we got 4 gems on this run. It's going to help us get to 50k quickly. Quicker, I should say. Sequestered. Yeah. Well, sequestered is a good word for it too. I just figured jury duty because they were actually doing something. You just don't have access to them. The champion will be serving the part. No. Yeah. The good news is it's a mistake you'll only make once. right? Not always true in games or in life, but in this game, that's a mistake you'll only make once. Yeah, on my main account, it's usually Jarlaxle. That's gone for the whole week. Which was always rough, because then I'd want to go do deep favor runs, and then I'd never have Jarlaxle available. So, but now Eric is way better, so it's like, okay, I'm fine. Okay, I needed 3 of these. East. Yeah, his bonus will be lower than Mako's. It's the bonuses are based off item level. Bonuses are based off item level, and honestly, I'll be honest, Krull's a better pusher than Mako's, unless you're a Mako's DPS main, I guess. But Krull would be better for general pushing, and technically better for gold find, but only if you have both the feats and you want to manipulate it. Krull technically, I think, might still have the highest gold find in the game. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's run those numbers anymore. I ran them back in the day. I made a spreadsheet, and it was ridiculous. It's like everybody else is doing this kind of stuff. Like, oh, look, like I made little bar graphs, and like everybody's over here, right? And then you see Krull like just like all the way over here, like off the screen, and everybody else is here. And somebody posted a bar graph on this subreddit, and it was very deceptive. So I downvoted it. Because they showed all these bar graphs, and they showed it like, you know, like as if like let's see, the screen is the bar graph, and so people are coming up over here, and then there's some that are up here, and then you see Krull's hit the top with a little arrow saying keeps going with a value, and it's like, that's deceptive. You need to shrink that thing down and keep Krull's in the windows, so the Krull's is up here and everybody else's are all the way down here. Otherwise, people just don't understand how different it is. Like a 40 stack Pilferon Krull is just absolutely ridiculous. And that was without itemization, like just base effects. And it gets better with gear. Mako's golden fight effect only triggers if he kills, though. Correct. So he's not a huge party in my favor. Well, he can be. It's called Mako's bombing. And what you do is you put him in his DPS spec, but you don't put him in your party. I know that sounds odd. You push real hard, you set a high, but you get a high bud value. You drop him in, you hit the bomb, like with a bunch of enemies on the screen. And as long as the ultimate damage is enough to kill everything on the screen, you rake up all the gold. You can also manipulate it so that he is your DPS. It's with Sergeant Nox is what you want to do, and then he can set pretty high bud values. And you pull him, and then you pull him out, and you let 100 enemies stack up, and then you drop him in. You let him attack one, kill one, set bud, hit the ult, and reap the rewards. All right, we completed it. That's Mako's bombing. Okay, after Raga Draga's crew, Relentless Peril. Oh no, is there one down here? I don't remember where all these are. Maybe it was over here. Relentless Peril down here. Okay. This one is this is a Chumbawamba variant, but they're stunned for 10 seconds before coming back to life. So it's not a great Chumbawamba variant, but if you've done all the other Chumbawamba variants, then you might not want to do this one. I recommend doing this one than keeping like the one in Waterdeep, because this one's better for patron influence. All right, where are we at? 49,000 gems. Here, we're gonna have it soon. Yeah, real soon. But yeah, Mako's bombing is a you really need Sergeant Knox with Mako's, or else it's really not worth it. Well, and that's yeah. But so if your bud is greater than their health, then you haven't gone far enough. Like you need bud slightly bigger than the health, but you shouldn't be using fire breath potions and if you're killing, then what you do is you take out the DPS. Take out your primary DPS and let 100 enemies stack up, and then you put and your bud will drop. Then you drop your primary DPS in, as long as they're not an AoE DPS. And then they will set that high bud value again, and then you swap them for Makos, and then you hit the ultimate. This takes a little more manipulation, but it's a manipulative form of gold find. So you got to learn how to do it. You got to learn how to do it. How can I play without familiars? I mean, I just have to click the buttons. Yeah. Seen some people claiming the get back up enemies don't give kill stacks anymore. For the Dark Urge. People are complaining it doesn't work for the Dark Urge. But yeah, I completed all those variants on my main account, so. And I don't care about the Dark Urge, so that's not my problem. I mean, honestly, Death Javu, dirty gold farming is the only thing I care about nowadays. I personally wouldn't bother with Makos farming or Azaka farming. And I used to teach Azaka farming on a fairly regular basis on streams. So, and how to get 40 stack pilfer. I wouldn't bother anymore. Dirty gold farming is good enough for you. It's good enough for me. It's good enough. Isn't that how it goes? Cyndi Lauper from the Goonies. Something like that. It's been a while. I gotta watch that movie again. Oh yeah, that's a bad alleyway cam. Thanks. But notice how the restriction here doesn't really mean anything to us. Right? This is why we do it. This is why we do it. But it's super easy. You don't got to worry about anything wrong. Yeah, it's not. You can find dirty gold farming. It's in my gold farming thing. Let me pull it up. Thanks, Jules. So all the way at the bottom, I defined 3 different types of gold farming. Not all the way at the bottom. What is dirty gold farming or bud farming? So basically, you're building multiple formations. So like I have a speed formation in slot 1. I have a pushing formation in slot 2, and I have a dirty gold farm in slot 3. My dirty gold farm here isn't that great, but I just don't have a lot of gold farm champions yet. But basically, a dirty gold farm group is where you put in champions who just straight up boost gold find percentage. So under roll, under gold find, there's a lot of gold find champions, right? But some of them cause enemies to drop more gold when killed. Like after as a debuff, like they have to attack them first, and we don't want any of that. We also don't want anything that ramps up over time, like with Ishii. We want champions for Dirty Gold Find that just give flat boost to Gold Find. So Dinar is Dinar, Merowyn, and Regis over here. They can all do that. I tend to use Merowyn over here. We don't do anyone over here because it's either an on-hit effect or it's a random trigger. Mahan is huge. Mahan and Omen both do it. Mahan's bigger. Technically, a lot of people here do it, but Eric is the best. Otherwise, Jarlaxle's right behind him, usually. Over here, Valentine pulling lots of positionals, has the best option in her gold find spec. Otherwise, I tend to use Avandra, but, you know, each their own. Krulls is Pilfer, so I don't want that. Dungeon Masters is random, and I don't want to deal with it, so I don't use him either. Over here, I tend to use Egbert. Freely's is on hit. The others are okay, but Egbert's feels like the best. Beetles might... No, I think he has to hit now, right? Maybe not. His changed, so I'd have to look at his. Makos is on kill. We don't want that. Morgane actually steals gold, so you don't want her in there. Astarion and Eliwick are both big. Eliwick needs to pull moon cards. Astarion just does the thing. He needs to be in his gold find spec to really max it out. Rust is huge, especially in the Make It Rain, stripper spec. And then Penelope and Dob over here are the better options, but they do require you to build up their values during the run. So you want that's kind of what you're doing, and you're making a party that just has those because they don't have to kill anything. Because what you're doing is you're setting your damage, like here. I'm setting 151, and the you know, as long as the area based monster health is low enough that fire breath potions are killing everything instantly, then you just hot swap into that other party. And your gold find goes through the roof, and the fire breath potions are killing everything, and you just rake in tons of free gold. And because it doesn't require any like huge setup, and you can do it on the fly, and then you're just pressing a button and then pressing a button back to your main party, it feels dirty. Feels a little dirty. It feels like you need a shower after getting all that free gold. So we call it dirty gold farming with 2 R's. After Christina Aguilera. After Christina Aguilera's song, Dirty. But yeah, some people call it bud farming. That's, you know, bud farming has been legalized, I think, in a lot of places in the United States, but that isn't what we're talking about here. That's what we're talking about here. Dirty gold farming. But I mean, I use it from like once I have a formation, like once I have a champion who does better for gold find that isn't in my pushing group, then I build a dirty gold farm. So over here, that means really just swapping Azaka in, honestly. And having Azaka and Eliwick, and what I do is now that I have Astarion, Eliwick is then the gold farmer and Astarion is the damage dealer. So Eliwick gets parked in the gold farm formation, and that's really it at the moment, because I just don't have gold find options. We haven't been building for gold find, but Mahen's going to be in the next event, and so then I'll have Mahen, who absolutely will be in the dirty gold farm team. Hey, Lurking Rider. Yeah, I thought Beetles was still on hit. I think it's easier now. It used to be on hit, but only if the enemy had taken damage. Now it's just they have to hit them. Who did I seat for safer seat 1 and 2? Nobody in seat 1. And seat 2, they're all okay. But I usually use Marilyn. But that may change. That may change now. I don't know. I haven't set up my main account for dirty gold farming in a while. But Mako's bombing and Azaka farming require manipulation. Mako's farming requires, you really do want to, Mako's bombing requires waiting, like pulling, if Makos is the DPS, you pull Makos out, you let 100 enemies build up. You drop Makos in, you let him reset the bud, and then you hit the ult. And then you got to wait while the ultimate timer comes back and then pull him out again. And it's a lot of time and effort. Azaka farming is even more manipulative play. Like you've got to separate on a boss area. You've got to separate out only one enemy. There's only one enemy left with a lot of manipulation. And if you're using Krull, you've got to get the right amount of pilfer stacks. And then you swap in all the gold find people, and then you hit Azaka's ult, and it's just, yeah. And then the goal, you bully them for the lunch money. They're both a lot of work. Both a lot of work. And if you don't know the song Dirty, what are you doing in this chat? You're too young, or you somehow completely missed it when it originally came out. Fair play to you for managing that. Well, no, you can hang out in this chat. There's not an age limit. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Hold on. All right, here. Boom. Boom. Go watch Christina Aguilera get dirty. It's a good song. It's a good song. I think it's a good song. I think it's got great energy. I wouldn't use Grim, but I don't know. I mean, hold on, let me look at how Grim works again. Is Grim's gold find working now? Hold on. No, because that's enemies that Grim kills. So you don't want that. That wouldn't be in a dirty gold farm. It just needs to boost gold find percentage. Yeah, so you wouldn't. There isn't really a reason to do that. I mean, I don't. I'd have to look at his numbers, but I don't think he would do. Hold on. I don't think he would do better than. Let me run his numbers real quick. So it's 50% more. Stacking multiplicatively, capping it, so it's at 20. It's just 20 stacks. Doesn't seem like a big deal. Yeah. So he isn't. I wouldn't. I mean, he's just someone who, if you're using him as DPS, you're going to get more gold, like with Ishii. But he wouldn't be a dirty gold farmer, or even a manipulative gold farmer. Between Dob and Penelope, which would you suggest? Whichever you like more. I don't know. Some people, I've never really tried to figure out how to quick farm Penelope stacks, but Dob definitely has to be in at the beginning of a run. But Penelope could be put in later. Dob needs to stack up from the beginning of the run, it feels like. Penelope could be put in later, and then you could manually manipulate her stacks. And there's probably an efficient way to do that, and I've never bothered trying to figure it out. Looks like it was filmed in Avernus. It might have been. Yeah. Display the shared item level between Grim and Beetle. It doesn't seem to persist when you level one up. Is that as intended? I don't know what that means. I mean, they have to both be in the formation for one. That's one requirement. Brothers in armors. So this is Grim. If Beetle is in the formation with Grim, then Grim's equipment goes up, right? And vice versa. But it's only like for that run while they're in the formation together. You pull one out, it's not going to work, right? I'm not sure what you're running into, Regis. Okay, so that was Relentless Peril. Now we need the Madness of Yinogu. Where is that one at? Why do I never remember these? Is it in the same place? It is. Okay, so it's down in the same place. This one, enemies deal more damage and move faster. And whenever a champion destroys an enemy, the champion is stunned for a time equal to the duration of their base attack cooldown. We don't care. We're going to be killing with fire breath potions. We don't care about that. We're going to use a 15-minute potion, I feel like. We'll see how that works. Oh, I picked the wrong one. Oh well. Oh well. Not the worst thing. I wanted the crowd control spec for this because we just want to turn things around. Turn the enemy around. Turn it into a pincushion. No, that's okay. Do we have 50,000 gems? We do. Bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. Time to level up. We'll be right back. What do we want to get rid of? Spec choice bonuses. Boom. Okay. New save. Well, hold on. Let me level everybody up. But now we should have a maxed Diana. Now we should have a maxed Diana. So Regis, if you needed something else than that, or there's something weird going on, just tell me what's going on. But they both have to be in the formation. They both have to be whatever level activates Brothers in Armors. Are they intended to reset? Well, yeah, I mean it's just in the adventure as long as they're both in the formation. Otherwise, you can't just give them permanent. They're not giving each other permanent item level gains every time you put them in. That would be broken. It's the fact that they're buffing each other's item levels when they're both in the formation. Okay, so let's go look. We'll be right back. Now, 400%. Yay! Yay! If we take the 40 out, are we still? No. Okay, good. Yeah, so it does take both of them. Okay. But that gives us a maxed speed effect on Diana. So, definitely want to save this. Now with the feats. So it loads the right feats in every time again. We're good. And we're good. Saw Penelope stacking method in Discord earlier. The hit base boss. So it requires a hit base boss. That's not always available. Oh, in and out of swarms like a sure. But the swarms eventually go away, and so then you'd have to reset the area. But sure, yeah, that's interesting. Knockbacks and pulls. I mean, you wouldn't even technically need the pulls, but the pulls make it faster, I'm sure. And technically, you can do that. So you could do that same setup. Just to be clear, you don't need a hit-based boss. You just pull all the champions out of the formation except for Penelope and the ones that are making it bounce back and forth. And then you're not killing it. Because it doesn't have to be done on like super far progress. She keeps that thing. So that's a good idea. I'll have to think about building a saved formation like that to prep. We used to do that for like Orkira stacking. Like I'd save Orkira stacking formations for debuff, building her debuff. So similar thing. I just need to build a Penelope stacking formation and save it. They were supposed to have fixed that, Death, so I don't know. If that works for Freely's Adventurous Tale, that's a problem, Lurking Rider. Does that actually work? Like at the wall, 2501? Hans and Franz here to pump you up. Yes. I didn't get the accent right, but I remember that one too. It does? Letty did it a while one day while he's streaming. Oh no. That's a problem. And I'm sure no one's reported it. Right? Because why they don't want to report something that gives them lots of free favor. I mean, look, here's the thing. Somebody at that level of power doesn't need that kind of favor, clearly, but they'll do it just because they want it. It's kind of cheap. You can just swap his feats when you're done. Why? That's what feats are for. It's not like it's boosting the number of stacks he got. Like it's worse that manipulating the number of stacks when you're not supposed to. There's supposed to be a hard cap on that. That's a bigger problem. Or that is a problem. The rest, it doesn't matter. That's what feats are supposed to swap in and out. But yeah, for Freely works for Makos bombing and Azaka farming, but he can be hit or miss with how many stacks he's building up of his gold, and you have no way to know. It's a kind of invisible stacks. I use Egbert just because Egbert's consistent. I don't have to worry about the hit or miss. $2,000 gems. Woohoo. I think Therefore I am. I think today we just spin the gems we get. That's what we're gonna do. Whatever gems we're getting today, we're spending. Because it's the last day of the week for this account, basically. They don't play it on the weekend. I mean, I have to come in and do trials each day, but now. But I won't be streaming that. Oh, wait, not one at a time. One at a time. Large bounty, large potion of speed. I'll take that too. Medium potion of speed. I'm liking this so far. I like it more with an epic in it. Yep. Medium potion of speed though. And then Monday we will start the grind for the next 50k speed feat. Which I think it's gonna be Human. I think Human would make the biggest bang for the buck. So 80% carefully balanced. Because the other one that we have available is Shandy, turning Shandy on faster, but I don't think that's as important right now for us as getting Human to a bigger number. A bigger number. Where's the mid-game stop point for this run? I don't know. We're already in the mid-game. 24 days and we were access trials. Technically, that's the mid-game. That's fully into the mid-game. Yeah, I don't know. Because if I was just demonstrating, here's how quickly you can get into the mid-game, I've done that. Right? I just never really knew how we were going to stop this account is part of the problem. Yeah, we'll do the time gain on Monday. Yeah. Seem to be gathering a lot of Aki ink. Which members do you suggest charting? Omen. I don't, yeah. I mean, Jim, probably. I don't know. I never use Jim on my main account, but I use Omen. Other people might, you know, have more opinions. I know. I'll remember to open it on Sunday because I got to do my trials run anyway. So. If not, I will panic right before the stream starts. And since the stream starts right when the time gate would end, I would be panicking and logging in really quickly and getting it at the last second. Yeah, I don't know. There's a part of me that wants to, like, obviously we're doing these efficient patron variants. Because this is, I just want people to, you know, understand what's going on here. This is going to take a little while to do these. I think I kind of want to see now that tiers, because event tiers weren't something I really thought a whole lot about back then. I think now, like, I want to figure out what is it going to take to get us to clear tier 3. It's going to take a lot of power. How quickly can we get there, maybe? At the very least, I want to get that Corver Green epics to 0. At the very least, I want that to happen. So we're here at least until I get full epic on the core and evergreens. We'll say that. I don't know. I don't know beyond that. Yeah, the natural time gate weekend, basically you've got 72 hours to select a champion. The moment you select a champion, you've then got a new fresh 72 hours to do the time gate. So if you're not available, you know, until if you're gone for the weekend and you're there Monday morning, you can get in. Well, Monday morning specifically speaking, you can get in and pick your champion. You'll then have 3 days to actually do the unlock, which is what, yeah, which is why we can do it on a Monday afternoon. 11x, 55x, 11x, 55x. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. When you get your Diana there, and then multiplier went down because Shandy's turned off. All right, so if we're going, yeah, 575. I think the 15-minute potion was the right choice. Just wondering if it includes Alcoria, Ray, and Xeraphon. Of what, this account? I don't know that we'll go back and get Alcoria. I don't know that there's a reason to. Other than just needing champions to unlock Zerial. Like right now, right here, right now, we're at 40 champions. We need 50 for Zerial. Alcoria would +1 us. Rhea would +2 us. Xeraphon is +3, but an event was +5, right? There's 8, and then time gates 10. But it might just be easier to do time gates and the event than to grind through Waterdeep. I don't know. I mean, we're doing 6 variants here, but Rhea needs 20. But we'd have to do 14 more to unlock Rhea. I don't necessarily want to do 14 more variants in Avernus, when we could just leave and go to Icewind Dale and see, do we have the power to do Xeraphon? Like, I don't know. Rhea is an okay pickup. She would work with Ishii. But Alindra, she's in seat 6, and Alindra is the go-to for Ishii. Alindra with Whittle. So it's just not high on the priority list. While I would like to get Zerial as quickly as possible, that doesn't necessarily mean grinding through Waterdeep and Avernus variants. Good call, Shevik. Doesn't Xeraphon takes a bunch as well? Yes. I mean, they all kind of take a varying amount, but Xeraphon is further. Well, actually, I don't know. Hold on, let me go look. He might be where they stopped doing the variant requirement. Let me look at his thing. Excuse me. Xeraphon is a they. Xeraphon is a doppelganger. Theirs may be where they stopped requiring a certain number. Yeah, no, you don't have to get a bunch of variants. Yeah, that's a nice way. So we'll definitely do Xeraphon, but we may skip Alcoria and Rhea at first. Lucille is wrecking our party because she cleaves. Which is why usually when we're fighting Lucille, I start singing, "You picked a fine time to cleave me, Lucille," which is a musical reference that a lot of people probably won't get. All right. So yeah, variants, Evergreen chasing got a lot easier later on, where they just said, you know what? Why are we restricted? Why are we forcing them to do so many variants? But then they never went back and removed those requirements from the earlier things, which I would love for them to do. I was so disappointed when I got Xeraphon. They're not great. I almost did it again. They're not great. But again, that's not really why you get them, but you get them because you're chasing Zerial or Elminster at that point, depending on how long it took you. Hey, Dance Lover. Hydrate. 575 is looking like the limit for a 15-minute potion. We might even slow down. See, even Yenogu cleaves. That's why we're losing these two. Like technically nobody should hit him, but an AoE hits him. He's dying. I mean, that's another reason to do a lesson in class is just to demonstrate how it works. Seal, really? Really? Hey, Cavinia. There, we lost the 15-minute potion. So 550 areas with 15 minutes of with a 15-minute potion in Avernus for this account now. With when you have the legendary going. We're gonna have to adjust this formation because this isn't working. All right, Marianne. Oh, that was also... I built that formation out horribly because I'm not even getting Calyx's buff in it. Why was I doing? I'll fix that on the next run. That's really bad. Okay. Next up, Madcap Adventures Redux. I believe that's the one that's over here. Yes. So with this one, Madcap spawn, and if they hit a champion, another one immediately spawns from the farthest right of the screen. And each time one is blood spawned, which is if they hit a champion, then champion damage gets reduced. So, but again, if you're killing with fire breath potions, who cares? Who cares? This one is lower area goal, 400. Okay. So we can go back to like 3 of these. Right. Okay, this needs to change. This needs to go up here. You need to go over there. There we go. Now this is okay. This is functional. All right. All right. What do we got? 2,200 gems. Gimme. All the way to the pity timer. All right. Hey, Bruner. Hey, Macarena. There we go. Down to 48. Down to 48. We're back from the break. Blood particle. You never spent gold in the click damage, correct? So when do you use it? So you make a choice. Normally you'd be using it at the start of a run to race through early areas, right? And that's because like here, if I'm gonna throw a bunch of money in it so we could see like how far would it go. But basically the level that you can get your click damage to is roughly equal to the area that you could still click kill with. And so that's a function of favor. I do have a lot of favor here. Let's see. I've been spinning fire breath potions instead, and that's a trade-off. So I could get to 237, which, well, with the goal I have right now, which probably means I could get over 300 areas just clicking, and then I'd have to use fewer click damage potions, but whatever. So you'd use it at the start of a run, but the moment you the moment that your area you're on gets higher than the level of click damage you have, not the damage value, the level, you should just be investing. Your goal should just be going into champions. And I guess I get to a point when I have speed champions, but I'd rather be making sure that all the gold is going into my speed champions to get them up to their speed ability as quickly as possible. And so I start spending fire breath potions, like the click damage potions, which right now is adding 69 seconds worth of bud to my base damage of each click. Now. And I'm just killing with that instead. But I mean, oh hey, we leveled up. The fast core reached level 3. Nice. Yeah, I mean, right now I have the fire breath potions. They're easy. The apothecary makes it easy to make more, so I've just been using those. But you don't have to. I could have used this and be using less fire breath potion. Same damage. Same kind of damage. I know, yeah, Lucky Rider, yeah. I mean, it's a time potion, and it doesn't respect time. Imagine that. Speeds things up, and then it doesn't respect how it works, right? How time works, yeah. No, Death Javu, that's not it. Oh, greater than. Sorry, I was. Okay, yeah, I see where you were going with that. Greater than E72, yes, but I don't. I mean, it just depends on how far you have to go. If this adventure I only needed to get to like 300 and something, then it would make more sense for me to just level up click damage and not waste the potions. And technically, I should have just been doing this. And here's the thing: I really just want a familiar here. And normally with 6 familiars, I'd put 5 on the field and then 1 over here on click damage, and then I wouldn't be doing the fire breath potion. But because I've been putting 1 here to speed up Humon every now and then, I really should just ignore that and then put it over here, and not be spending the potions. It just kind of depends on how you want to play it. Here, we'll do it like this from now on. See if I remember to not spend the potion now. See how our Bruner's been doing. I'm not getting 114 constructs. That's not bad. Or it's not Bruner, it's Charlaxle. We haven't gotten a message that said that's screwed up, so it seems to be working. Let's go look at the core. Now we're level 3. That opened up this int 13 and a much bigger damage bonus. So let me go look. She's only int 12. She's only int 12. She does have a feat for that, but it's from events. So I think I have the pipe I need. Anyway, like this is pipe dependent. I don't even have the pipe I need to do when oh, actually I could do this one. Perfect. Here's what we do. Into automation. Around the corner. I need Sonya straight. There we go. Boom. Boom. Okay, now we've got automation. Now I'm happy because now I can come over here and I can go, hey, we're going to start this every single time with this group, with these spec choices and these feats. It's just going to do it automatically for me. And now I don't have to make those choices now when I start a run. I made things so much easier for me. I still have to level all the champions up because I don't have enough familiars to, you know, level all the champions up. But I don't have to slow down and like pick the spec choices every time. The modest core is the one that's easy. It spoils you because you get automation at level 1. And then after that, you've got to get to level 3 for all but maybe one more of them. I can't remember if there's one that does it without it. Imagine if you had Nordum in that Jarlaxle formation. Nah, that's okay. No, Nordum would be leveling up the one in the background. The modest core, which is level 4. If I had a Nordum in, Nordum would be in this party leveling up this core. He wouldn't be in my active party. It wouldn't really be helping my background that much. 23,000 away from level 15. Nice. So only 23,000 more levels to go. Areas. That was confusing. 23,000 more areas to go. I can't believe we've got E37 Tiamat's favor. That's wild. That's just wild to me. Okay, Modron component chest. What do we get? Nothing. Nothing worthwhile. Nothing out of that. And nothing out of that. All right. Nice seeing you. Have a good day. Use these. We're still focused on Alleyway until she gets to 300 average item levels, and then I'm going to stop. So we're getting closer. Power alarm. That would be good at like so Nordum A needs better scaling for his I'm gonna level up your motor core ability. And B, if you could just make it apply to all parties, like to all Modron cores and all parties, then he would have a place, I feel like, kind of in the mid game. Because you could park him in a background party, and then he'd help you level up all your parties. That could be an interesting, like, hot fix to Nordum. If they just, even if they left his scaling as it is now, and they made it apply to all parties, that would be an interesting hot fix. I feel like he needs a much better ability overall. If it were in a full rework, he needs a much better ability overall. He turns each level. Well, that's not his base value, though, right? It doesn't feel like his base value. No, it's 20%. It's 20% is the base value. So he starts off at point to like every 5 areas you get, every 5 XP you get 1 for free. He should have started off at double. He should have just started off at double and scaled from there. But I think nowadays he also needs a he kind of needs his own tracking system where like he's tracking XP gain, and every certain amount of XP gain he gives you a Modron chest. That would be nice. Problem is like then they have to cap that. They'd have to cap his bonus, which I'm 100% okay with. But yeah, that would be nice. Feed us more chests by using Nordum to generate that XP, even after you've capped all your Modron cores, and feed yourself more chests. Super worth it. All right. So we finished Madcap Adventures Redux. We want the Archduke's Blessing, which I think is the one that's over here. Nope. Again. To the wrong place. Is it here? Oh my god. There it is. So, it was right off the screen. Covered by the UI. Sometimes this gets a little hard to see. It's up here in Bell's Forge. And I couldn't see it because I was like a little over here. Okay. Archduke's Blessing. Armored cultists who does a lot of damage. Who cares? Like, this is why we do, like, when you're doing the patron versions, like, you do this one first. This is what it looks like. So that you can get through this super easy. You do them in the order that I have them listed. Good. I kept waiting for the spec choice to pop up, and then I realized, oh, it's not gonna. Oh, it's not gonna. So nice. So nice. But when you're going to do the patron versions, I try to list them in this order. I encourage people to do them in this order, because when you go into the patron versions, you want to be buying local patron blessings as you go to make this easier, because you're gonna need that power as you get to the more difficult ones down the line. Yeah. So like this time I didn't buy a fire breath potion. I do need to go get a speed potion in, but I'm just gonna let the familiar level stuff up. Wait, we're going to 500. So I'm gonna say like 3 of these again. Let's see. Well, it's not about a scavenger. I mean, I guess it's kind of a scavenger, but it's more that he wouldn't scavenge off of bosses. You would take whatever the value of a level, like level 15, like, because whatever the amount of XP you need to get from 14 to 15, and you tick it up as if you're going from 15 to 16. You take that value, and you say, for every this much XP that you earn while Nordum is in your party, you basically are trying to level up like 16 over and over again, and generating generating a Modron component chest. Maybe you even just do it. Maybe it makes it show up over here so that 15 and then it shows a 16 and then you're filling up a bar every time. I don't know. But that would be great. That'd be great. But I don't think they want to generate. I think they're happy with the grind that is Modron component chests. The burning questions do I have for the devs this week? I don't have any. There isn't even anything that's happened that I'm like, I need information. Like we're still really waiting for the notary system. Hoping it comes out next week. It's like, you know, I mean, somebody could ask if it. I think somebody asked last week about it. I don't remember what they said. Yeah, I think there's just, you know, changing the Modron system overall is not I don't think is a high priority. But reworking Nordum feels like a high priority. And if it's really just got to make his toolbox better while also making him a functional part of a party, even when you've got all your Modrons maxed. Because right now he's just not at all. Oh, oops. Okay. I knew somebody did. I couldn't remember who it was. So the notary system, then, they're probably targeting Wednesday for it. That's a good question, Chevik. That is not my Saturday stream, Death Chabu. My Saturday stream is listed in the Battle Champions Discord as Garwar's Guide to Getting Started 2025. It was a new player-focused tutorial stream. I can't tell you about it until they announce the title. I can't announce the title. That's not something I get to do. That's all. That's when I say I can't talk about it. It just means I can't tell you what the title is. When Windfall comes out, I will definitely do a tutorial show on Windfall. For those who don't know, Windfall is the next Evergreen champion. They rarely spoiler much, Monkey House, so that's more a Chris Latois thing. And he's rarely on streams. So. They announced Windfall in the Q&A. Oh, it's in the blessings. That's what it is. If you go to the blessings for Vecna Even Ruin, it basically they said that the new Evergreen's coming soon. But in the blessings, there's a blessing that says this buffs all champion damage and the damage of Windfall. It's like, well, okay. Is it in the blog too? Yeah, there you go. Well, it's because it's listed in the blessings. Fairly, if you spot her having only one gem card up, does it make sense to pop her ult and gamble for more? Yes. Like right now. Thanks. Thanks for the reminder. I personally always want 2 at a minimum. There we go. Because 2 gets me to 100%, like gets me to double. 100 effort. Once I'm over 100%, I'm getting double gems. Ooh, 169. Nice. Yeah. But I mean, you always want as many as you can get. But I figure out of getting at least 2 out of 5 feels good. 1 out of 5, 0 is horrible. 1 is like if you're specifically trying to get gems, but like whatever card you're trying to get, 2 feels like the minimum you should be getting. And if you want to gamble for more, gamble for more. Yeah, that's the big deal. Once I can get the guaranteed gem, then I'll always have at least 1. But usually that odds are that guarantees 2. Generally speaking, you'll always then end up with 2, more often than not. But once you have that feat slotted, your gem gain is going to go up just consistently, be higher. I don't want to toss a familiar on it. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because then I'm shuffling the deck every now and then, and I could end up with less. I don't want that. I don't want that. Everybody can, min max their own accounts, but I don't want to deal with it. If I'm flying along, I also might have no bonus when I clear a boss, and that's not great. All right, more chests. Hey. Excuse me. All right. We really beat the pity timer on that one. Medium speed potion, we'll take. I only got 5 gems for the first time the other day on stream. And it was the achievement. It was the first time I got 5 of anything, and it was gems. That was nice. How are the potions doing? So 6, 8, 2. Yeah, these are pretty good numbers. We just don't have any of these. For a deep favor run somewhere is not great. Yeah. How many? 2,200 reagents? Sure, we're fine. We're doing fine. That means she's doing a little better, maybe? 3,450. Well, so still not great. Still in the half of, well, we're up to halfway there, I guess. We already capped out Diana's, so she's just getting one every 2 days. One Electrum every 2 days. Yeah, putting a familiar on Eliwick is for if you're using her to push with. I just want the gems. I just want a lot of gems. But you'd want a lot of hard pulls if you were trying to push with her. We're down here. We're at level 324 on our click damage. So, you know, we've got at least 30 more areas we can click kill through. Then I'm going to have to drop a Fire Breath Potion, or else our progress is going to slow down. Because we kind of want to always be insta-killing. If we're not doing a deep run, we should be insta-killing everything that isn't that doesn't have segmented health. I look around the Gems R Us concession, and basically, I mean, look, we're already at 300 again. We just bought a bunch of chests, so that's what we like. All right, 331 down here now. $336. Oh, we earned a lot of coal. We're not going to be able to get to 500 with gold-based click damage. Fantastic! Thank you for the follow. All right, now we're taking this off. Put it over here. Okay, now I need to pop a. Oh, I guess I did that accidentally. Oh wow. I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice. I was like, let's see if I remember to not buy it. I didn't. Great. I trained myself to just purchase it. Now I'm hitting that button like a little lab rat. Like a little lab rat. There's 500. Speaking of hitting a button like a lab rat. Oh, we must have looted one as well. No. Medium push and speed. Well, they're valuable. I mean, I was having to craft them, so I'd rather not have to craft them. I know they don't cost much, but I'd rather save that for the larger potions as we start doing deeper and deeper stuff. Like, I'll be honest, with the legendary potions of speed currently being broken and lasting way longer than they should because weird math. This actually may be the most kind of important investment. 1440 reagents in a vessel. I mean, I've got a bunch of vessels. So I really want to save my reagents for that. It's just more efficient if you're going to be actively grinding through lots of stuff, as we've found. Oh, nice. It's so, so nice. It's not just speed that's broken. Oh, that's fine. Just let's let those remain broken, because that's really the only way it's useful to me at all, is for grinding through lots of things. And it kind of feels bad if it's a 24-hour potion and then you turn your game off, like, I don't know. It feels a little wasted if you're playing like for 2 hours a day. Something, even 6 hours a day, it seems a little wasted. So I kind of like that it's lasting longer based off your active time spent in the game. Yeah, it helped a lot when we had to surprise flex Alindra, you know. So much. So much. You got Linda's red panda skin? Nice. One of the few skins that's unlockable in the campaigns under like variants. They were kind of trying that out. Obviously they didn't like it. Or there'd be a lot more in the game. So it is a little random and kind of like, why is this here? Doesn't really make any sense. Yeah. Day 2 is up, so if you're doing free plays, you'll get your next quest done. You always want to make sure you're doing the quest every day. As you can see from drops, I'm almost caught up to the limit. But the quest is not progressing super well. I may need to change Jarlaxle to somebody else, honestly. Maybe we could put Nayeli in. She should be able to level up enough. Yeah. Nothing. God dang it. Still annoys me. Yep. Wow. Okay. Last one. I think it's the last one. Did we do all? Yes. Extreme heat. Extreme Heat is also here. Blah, 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 blah. The formation is taking damage every 3 seconds. So, you know, ow. Ow. So the issue is really only, and you're taking like max health every 3 seconds. So the idea is you want to clear areas as quickly as possible. Otherwise, you need a shielder in your party or a good healer, but like I haven't leveled up Halson yet, but he's only going to heal good champions. So there's going to be champions that aren't going to get heals. You also don't want in places like this where you're taking a percentage of your max health and damage, you don't want more than one tank with health share, or you will kill yourself faster than you can prevent. An alternative here, if I was worried about it, would be Calliope. Shields, party-wide shields are great as long as you don't have more than one tank with health share. The shields will be big enough that the damage will come out of the shields, and not the champion's health. But the more health you give your champions, the faster they take damage when it's based off a percentage of their max health. Well, I shouldn't say the faster they take damage. The quicker they chunk down, and the less your heals can compensate, because heals are fairly fixed values, right? So like this is looking great, except on Calyx and Human, who aren't getting any of the heals. I'm not. There is no fate card shield if I'm not hitting my ultimate. So that's not that one doesn't work very well. You want either Calliope or like see here, we died. We died. It did. You want Calliope or Shaka's got a group wide shield. Dungeon Master has a group wide shield. You want stuff like that. That's nice. This is 3 gems right now. The green ones are the gem cards, folks. Although I guess if you can't see the colors, there are only 3 gem cards out right now. We do have a fate. The best thing is like if you're not going to get like if you don't get max gem cards, if you can get then the rest of them in fate, it boosts this. So we're getting triple gems right now. We're getting triple gems right now. We will take. I'll buy that for $1. How far are we going on this one? 475. Yeah, we'll burn the rest of these. Look at that. All right. That's what we like to see. Large potion of speed. Huge. I wanted a huge gold find potion, honestly. Nope. I said huge gold find. Medium potion of speed, though. Finally got the deck feat from a gold chest. Nice. We haven't seen a feat in a little while. So that's not helping. I'm going to try to remember to not level up Dragon Bait. Sorry, Dragon Bait. Let me take a look. I mean, this should be fine. It's just slow, right? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's just punching through everything. Just slow. All right. Fine. Can I show or explain how immolation works? I can't show because I don't have an immolation feat. But what it does is it creates a bud-based dot, damage over time effect on whatever that champion hits. So whatever your bud is, depending on how many seconds of bud it's doing, you take those number of seconds, you multiply it by your bud, and it's going to tick that off for X number of seconds, or maybe it just does it once. It depends on. Let's see. What does Human say? Additional 1 second of bud every second for 5 seconds. So it will take one bud pulse a second for 5 seconds. And where this really pays off is armored and segmented enemies. Because even though Human normally wouldn't be able to take a segment off of like an armored enemy, you're going to get 5 segments removed over 5 seconds, right? 1 a second for 5 seconds. And since they attack almost that fast anyway, you're just going to be helping to remove segments. It works on hit-based stuff too. So any segmented health, it's supposed to also chew off every second, as long as the damage is high enough, right? So they're great feats to have to help you get through segmented health enemies. As long as you've got the damage. So do I need immolation on 3 and 4 of my characters, or only on 1 is enough? I mean, it depends on the trouble you're having, right? And if you can swap a feat on those characters without losing the damage you need to get through stuff. Right. If it's armored, it takes a minimum amount of damage to remove a segment. If it's hit based, then you could just have immolation feats everywhere. So they're they're a functionality thing. They help you to get through armor faster in certain scenarios, but it's not like it's, absolutely required. There's other ways to do that. Different champions and whatnot, but it's nice when you can just slot a feat into a champion you wanted to use. And like, it would be helpful here. I don't have it. One more boss. I can get one more gold chest. Y'all got any more of those gold chests? Here we go. Dang it. Not getting the luck today. Comes and it goes. Stopped him right before his health upgrade. We don't need him giving us more health. all those tokens, all those bounty contracts are just stacking up for the next event. They're going to stack up over here under event tokens. I don't care about the gold that's in those. I just care about the tokens. So as we get those, we're just going to use them because I want to use them all up in the next event to try to get champions to full epic if I can. The sooner we can start making event champions, like our event unlocks full epic, the easier it's going to be to hit full epic on the account overall. Maybe that's what we should chase. Maybe we should chase a full epic account. Just to see how long that takes. Right now I'm thinking that we're at least going to get the Corver Green full epic. Maybe we should try to chase like overall full epic. Yeah, again, the contracts you don't necessarily have to save up. If you're planning on using all of them on the next event anyway, you can just burn them now. Again, I don't think the gold portion is worth waiting for. There we go. Bruner again. Sure. Good luck. Core champion. Oh, look at that. Oh, wait. No. Hide recallable. There we go. I was like, why were they gone? I don't understand. Bruner is up to 4 out of 6. Good for him. So is Delana. Brunar, Jarlaxle, Ashara, Delana, Makos are all 4 out of 6. But nobody's missing it. Okay, we would want this would be the get saved. Not enough. Okay. So now this, if I reset this, and I load this in, it will show me that it will slowly start to remove these as they get full epic. It won't show the ones that are full epic, and it'll just show us who we have left. I like those little preset search saves. Is it? Hold on.
US Cellular has a new...
Dang it. It's Toys R Us, but in the UK. They had a different or a different lyrics then, apparently. I don't remember this kind of ad in the US at all. Yeah. I only know the US version. The whole I want to be a Toys R Us kid. Yeah. I want to be a Toys R Us kid. That was the thing. Man, Toys R Us was like concrete floors, piles of stuff everywhere. I mean, I like going there, but man, it was a big box store before big box stores knew what they were. But it was just toys. I mean, it was a toy store inside a big box store. It was just wild. Yeah, super bright lights because they had to be super bright because they were like the ceilings were like 30, 40 feet high. It's just a big warehouse that they stuffed with toys. Oh, this can come off this now. We need one of these. Wasn't paying attention. That was on me. Okay, now we've got Halson leveled up enough that we can max out a Dragon Bait. Even though he's still not healing Human and Calyx, but it's fine. Walmart for you? I mean, I think I don't even. Well, we had a Walmart. They put a Walmart in, and it was a big deal at the lake I was living on. I don't. Yeah, I think by the time they put that in, I more cared about. I wanted music for Christmas. Like, give me like Guns N' Roses or something. Give me some tapes. Give me some cassette tapes for Christmas and my birthday. I think when I still cared about games and toys and stuff, it was like Kmart was where we had to go, and that was all the way when we went to trips to Tulsa, so it wasn't even like near us. Occasionally, like we would go to Toys R Us. Times I went to Toys R Us was after I got a computer. I was trying to get video games. That was the only place to get video games. Was Toys R Us. Well, like computer games. Oh, I'm sure, Caffeinia. Yeah, it wasn't an interesting thing. Like the draw of Toys R Us was that they pretty much did, like back then, have everything. But it wasn't a nice shopping experience. But they had like a lot of the production. I wouldn't say everything, but they had so much stuff. You go to one place and you're probably going to find what you're looking for. Not everywhere. There were places like if you wanted like the more high end experience was like an FAO Schwartz. I remember going to those, like visiting family for the holidays, and we'd go to FAO Schwartz to see how they decorated it for Christmas, and they had the expensive stuff. That was just neat to go in and see. Wow, must be nice to be rich. But otherwise, yeah. Toys R Us was just kind of like, you got a bunch of stuff there. Like, more than likely, you're going to find it. And they did, like, when video game consoles came out, like, they had a little secured section with all the video games in it. It's the only place that I could really find that kind of stuff. Yeah. But they weren't like super impressive places to go. Yeah, Toys R Us is more like a Costco or a Sam's Club. Like I said, it was a big box store before big box. I think Toys R Us gave stores the idea to make big box stores. Oh, people will just come shop in a big warehouse full of stuff. Cool. Cool. All right, there we go. Got games from Best Buy. There was no Best Buy when I was growing up. Okay, so that was all of the efficient patron variant. So next up on the list is to do them again, but with a patron. So we're not gonna have time to finish this. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Now instead of 450, it's 550. Mert adds 100. So, and we can only use good or evil champions. But it's look at this influence. EO6, EO4 ruby coins. We're into scientific notation in the currency. We love it. Love it. But let's see. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see how doable it is for us. Okay, we don't have Deacon. But look, we got everybody. We don't have Eliwick. That's not not ideal. We don't have Gale. Samaria comes in and Astarion, maybe. No, we need. Yeah, we can do Astarion. Because we're gonna need to do like. I don't know, do like. Something like this. Actually, probably fine. Who did I pull? I accidentally pulled somebody out. Oh no, we didn't pull anybody out. This needs to be here. This needs to be here, and then we can do an Astarion. There. Okay. And now this gives us our first look at what our formation is going to look like for Mert. Like this, if we're unrestricted in Mert, here's our unrestricted Mert formation. I think it's pretty solid. Just for running through stuff quickly. For the time being. I mean, we were able to do the base versions of these pretty straightforwardly without swapping champions out. So this gives us Astarion, who's a much stronger buffing champion. We're going to be a little slower. A little slower without Deacon, and we're not going to earn the gems because Eliwick isn't here. So there's a big downside of Mert. No Eliwick. No Eliwick. That kind of sucks. Not gonna lie, that kind of sucks. And I had just said, hey, I don't have to save this formation anymore and choose all these specializations, but I'm having to do it again because this is a patron version. It's not regular hell. This is patron hell. This is Mert's hell. So I have to save a specific formation for Mert, and we will be able to load this in, doing all our patron stuff. Just get everybody leveled up. Make sure. I mean, I just OCD. I just gotta do it before I save. And then where do I want to put that familiar? Put it over here. And we're gonna save start. This is gonna be 1 now. And we're gonna change this over to start, and then we'll be good. Okay. We're going 550 areas. That was 15 minutes of speed, if I remember correctly. And honestly, it was a 15-minute fire breath potion, but we'll wait. Try to use 5s. Here's 2k gems. Oh, yeah, that was last chest pulls of the day. Good night, Shevik. Hey, there's a feat. Oh, it's for the Dark Urge. Don't care. There was a chance there that it could have been the one we wanted. It wasn't. It wasn't though. Large potion of speed. We like that. Now the nice thing about this is if we hadn't done this stuff already, you know, we could load in, like, I could do this with Bruno, Driss, and Caddy Brie, and we grab 600 more currency. It is 500 areas. We could have done that. I could be firing off ultimates to get another 850. Or if we hadn't done it, here, let me just fire off every ultimate, face roll across the keyboard. If we hadn't done the generic stuff already, this would be getting the generic stuff done for us, but we already did it. At least some of the generic stuff. So it does make sense to try to build around them if you're doing variants. If you can do the variant with the build around, do the build around. I only went to an FAO Schwartz once, and I was in Las Vegas. Totally reenacted that scene from Big on one of the floor keyboards. Yeah. No, the only ones I ever went to were in San Francisco, downtown San Francisco. Treasure said everything but staff. Yeah, yeah. They always tried to staff minimally, and then if it was busy at all, you could never get somebody to help you. But if we look at this, so EO6, 2.38 EO6 influence. We only had 4,700 influence for Mert. But, well, left with 2.05 EO4. Okay. So EO6 is going to be millions of influence, which means we'll be able to go down. I think when we're done with these 6, we should have tier 5 maxed. So we'll be able to grab. He has like no. We got nothing over here, and technically we should be putting it in. You want to spin in local first when you're doing patron stuff, because you get bigger bonuses. In the shop, EO6 will take us down to EO6. Will get us all the way down here. So it won't get us quite enough to get the familiar, which is the Golden Flame Skull. But by the time we finish, we will have more than enough for the familiar. But if there was something like if we really wanted this shiny, we could get it. I don't care about any of the rest of this stuff, honestly. We're not even using Jarlaxle for favor, so I don't care about this. Otherwise, that would be a big one. So like this is really the first one you're looking for. We'll be able to buy our Modrek opponent chest, obviously, right away. We want, like, the Flame Skull would be nice. We don't have Warden. So we could, at 8 EO6, we could pick up Warden. Like, it's a skin, but it also gives you Warden. That doesn't suck. He won't have any gear. You have to gear him up with Electrums. But yeah. So we're gonna get a lot from this. This will be, what, 2 EO6? Let's see. The next one would be... well, we don't have to look at. Here's like Extreme Heat. This one's 3.76 EO6. So if we look at these, 2.38 EO6, 3.76. So that's 5.5. We'll just say 5.5, 5.6 EO6. So now then we'd be at like 1 EO7 with this one. That's an EO5. That one's going to be smaller. 3 EO7 after this one. So we're going to be around like 4 EO7, somewhere in that range in terms of favor, it feels like. Or influence. Getting that wrong. So we'll be able to go all the way down to like... Yeah, we'll be able to get to the Warden. This one needs 6.5. This is a lot. We won't get that far. But that's fine. So we'll unlock down to here. And this could potentially, if we want to spend the currency on this, we'd be able to then pick up a champion effectively for nothing, right? A familiar and a champion and a Modron component chest. It's not bad. And that's Mert's version. So if we look, you're going to get comparative progress with her. So we're probably going to be down in here in this range. There's Jaheira. We don't have her and a familiar. If we get this far, then there's another familiar. Strahd, is Strahd Regis? Oh no, it would be, well, technically, Regis is early. So we could pick up Regis. And if we can get enough, I don't think we'd get this far, but Regis and Krond, because we don't have Krond either. So there's technically 4 event champions that we don't have that we could pick up from this one patron push, which would put us at 44. 2 time gates puts us at 46, 2 natural time gates. A manual time gate, we'll probably have like 2 manual time gates. That would be 48, and then the event hits. And suddenly we've got Zariel unlocked, and then we do it for Zariel. So we're about to get a lot of kind of free stuff. It's just the downside is we don't get any gear with those champion unlocks. So you're just relying on electrums to get you just to blues, and then patron chests, right? Eventually to get you further. So this is why I recommend not really grinding for patrons until you get here. And this isn't even really grinding. Like 6 variants doesn't feel like a grind. It feels like more of a grind than you've done anywhere before, but it's not like trying to do like a bunch of small value patron things. That feels like a grind. Where we're gonna have to worry is when we start getting restricted out of important people, right? Just trying to get that. Like, while we're here, I might as well try to get this. It's 250 of them now. Let's see. Excessive. Here, we'll let this guy do it. I'll just throw one of these down. A couple of these down. I'll throw one of these down. We'll put the gelatinous cube to work. Instead of my fingers. Right. People asking weird questions on the Discord. Or not on the Discord, on the subreddit. I don't understand. Where are we going? 550. Yeah, we got the speed to do that. Hey, we got enough. Open another one. I'm shocked. We come over here. Look, look. It's slowly moving down. We've done 23 million damage to Tiamat. Yay. There's our soft cap. Ah. Ooh, interesting question. Apparently. What? So Wizards of the Coast released their like Creative Commons license for the new, like the most recent D&D update, and people have been starting to comb through it. And they're wondering if they actually accidentally allowed people to use the term D&D, just capital D ampersand capital D, because it's in the information. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting what people find in there. They've if you're making content for D&D and trying to sell it, and you'll be pouring through that. Yeah. Don't want to spend another fire breath potion. We're almost there. I can't believe we finished this in 20 minutes. We went to 500 area 550 in a patron variant in Avernus in less than 20 minutes. This account's ridiculous. There we go. There's our huge stack of influence. I'm just going to immediately, because we don't have time to start something else. Let's come over here and look at perks. So I'm immediately going to dump everything in here because now I get 1,000% more damage on Mert's other variants. I'm only going to put 5 over here just to unlock this tier, and then I'm going to do it again. And then I'm going to look for the most, if I need 10 more, I'm going to look for the most efficient spins over here, which usually is alternating between them. Means I could have just done that, but now I know that it's all of this and 5 of this. And then I'm going more gold in Mert stuff, sure. And then alternating again. Nope, there's a couple for that one. We need 15. I might run out of favor here, but that's fine. Still want to just kind of efficient. Get the most bang for my buck. Okay, oh, oops. Overspent by 1. Damage of male champions, that doesn't help us with Ishii. Now we've got 3 things to take into account with 24 more. And this one going up to 25,000. Go. 27. Yeah, does it rotate like that? It does. Okay. And that finishes that off. Need one more, whichever one's the cheapest. And then we're over here. Event champions. There we go. So we got some more with Ishii. All right. And that was just one variant. Got us all the way to there, folks. Shop-wise, boom. Mojo component chest. And look, everything's opened up all the way down to here. All the way down to here. I don't care about this stuff. I don't care about any of this stuff right now. I just want to stock up, and I want to get down to here. These two. Yeah. Technically, have they still not started? Technically, if I wanted to be, if we had more time this week, I would try to do that for each of these, just so that I could get the Modron component chest this week. We don't have time for that on stream, unfortunately. That would be the most efficient way to do it. But we're just going to grind them all out, next week. So, let me go over here. Did the stream start? It's not showing up for me. They have not started the stream yet. End game pop-up went out, but the stream hasn't started. Okay, we want... Oh, I can't use Ishii in Strahd. So we're leaving Strahd. We're not going to be doing Strahd stuff. Screw Strahd stuff. Because we want Ishii stuff. So we're gonna move this back out here. Switch it to Mert. Switch to our Ishii farm. There we go. Collect whatever. Oh, we did 4. Well, we got a bunch of patron chests. Nice. Because of getting that Mert stuff. And this will cycle. Yes, it's set up correctly. Should get our... Oh, we got our stuff. Perfect. Now they're going. All right, rating. Thanks for hanging out, folks. Tomorrow we're going to be playing Elroy and the Aliens. Come back for point and click joy. Have a great night. Bye, everybody.